Hello, Thunder Bay! Thank you, Patty, for that incredibly warm welcome, and thank you for being the champion Thunder Bay deserves every single day. And thank you, Marcus, for stepping up and being an incredible part of this team as well. Let's hear it for Patty and Marcus. It's so great to be back here amongst so many friends. But before we get into things, I want you all to take a moment to look around you, to look at what we've built together. A lot of things have changed over the past 4 years, but the energy, dedication, and the ambition of this team has not. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Now, I know you've been working really hard this election season, and some days are easier than others. But remember that knocking on doors, making calls, training volunteers, that's not just how you win an election. It's how we move this country forward. So thank you all so much for being on this journey with us. Plus tôt aujourd'hui, j'étais en Colombie-Britannique pour parler de ce qu'un gouvernement libéral réélu va faire pour lutter contre les changements climatiques. Mais on a aussi parlé du choix qu'on sera tous appelés à faire le 21 octobre prochain. Un choix qui, franchement, ne pourrait pas être plus clair. On the one hand, you have our Liberal Party, the party that won't reward big polluters, the party that won't cave to gun lobbyists, the party that won't give a huge tax cut to the wealthiest few. And on the other hand, you have a conservative leader who will do exactly the opposite. Now we shouldn't be surprised, because that's just what conservative politicians do. They reward the wealthy and make life harder for everybody else. We've seen it under Harper, and we're seeing it right now under Doug Ford. Now, you'll remember well, on the campaign trail, Doug Ford loved to say that he was for the people, but we all know too well what happened once he got into office. He cut taxes for the rich and cut services for everybody else. Here in Thunder Bay, the Ford government slashed millions from the Lakehead and Thunder Bay school boards, which means bigger class sizes and less support for kids. Now he's threatening more cuts to hospital funding, which could mean 84 fewer beds and nearly 500 fewer staff for the people of Thunder Bay. Cuts to public education, cuts to public health. That's not for the people. You know what is, though? What we've done. Cutting taxes for the middle class and raising them on the wealthiest 1%. Strengthening the Canada Pension Plan so our seniors can enjoy their golden years to the fullest. Big round of applause for our seniors. Investing in transit, in our national parks, in your community. Funding community-based mental health programs for First Nations. Eliminating 87 boil water advisories on reserve and being on track to meeting our commitment to eliminate all of them by 2021. Co-developing and implementing a new approach on funding First Nations K-12 education so that First Nations kids have the same support as non-First Nations students. We have reached parity. Implementing an expanded Jordan's Principal program so Indigenous kids can access the services they need when they need them. Indeed, under our program, 341,000 Jordan's Principal applications have been approved, and under Harper, that was 0. That, my friends, is for the people. Mais entendons-nous sur une chose. Si le chef conservateur devient Premier ministre, il va défaire tous les progrès qu'on a réalisés, comme Doug Ford l'a fait ici en Ontario. Il va couper des programmes qui aident les peuples autochtones, les familles, les travailleurs et les aînés pour accorder des faveurs aux plus riches. Ce n'est pas un risque que je suis prêt à prendre. Les Canadiens ne peuvent pas se permettre d'autres coupures de la part des conservateurs. Let's not forget how we got here in the first place. In 2015, after a decade of failed conservative policy, Canada's economy was flat. Economic growth, job creation, wage growth, all were stalled, thanks to another conservative government that believed austerity and cuts were the answers to everything. Well, Canadians had had enough. So 4 years ago, you put your trust in a new team and a new plan. Well, because of the choice Canadians made 4 years ago, 4 years later, poverty is way down. Unemployment is at historic lows, and job creation is way up. And it's because our team rejected conservative cuts and austerity, because we chose to invest in Canadians and in your future. Take the team behind the Sweet North Bakery on South Court Street, for example. You guys there? There you are. See, one thing that sets this small business apart, aside from their delicious treats, is its commitment to sourcing ingredients locally. They get their flour from Kakabeka Falls. Their cheese, veggies, honey, and fruit all come from Thunder Bay. And their beer is from a local brewery. This means that when you buy from the Sweet North Bakery, you're helping a number of other small businesses in the region. But that's what people in Thunder Bay do. You support each other, you help each other. And our government cut taxes for small businesses from 11% to 9% because we also wanted to be there for entrepreneurs. Because we wanted to support the people who create jobs for their community, grow the local economy, and make our towns even better places to call home. Meanwhile, the Conservative leader is trying to pretend that you can get all of Stephen Harper's credits without getting any of his cuts. And that's just not credible. Truth be told, he's asking you to double down on conservative politicians and policies, to double down on cuts and austerity, to double down on Doug Ford. Well, I think you'll all agree with me that we're for investing in your family, in your community, and in your future, that I'm for moving forward for everyone. So that's why a new Liberal government will increase access to before and after school care. We will also ensure that all Canadians can take paid family leave when they have a baby. We'll make it easier to buy your first home and give our seniors more money for retirement. We'll cut taxes for the middle class and those working hard to join it, and lower cell phone bills by 25% across the country. And we'll make sure that every Canadian has access to a family doctor, to mental health services, and to national pharmacare. Now, I know that even that list doesn't cover everything, and I know there's lots more work to do and even more people to help. So tonight, we're announcing two important steps a re-elected Liberal government will take to close the gaps between the living conditions of Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. First, we will make high-quality healthcare a reality for all Indigenous people by co-developing distinctions-based health legislation. And second, we will co-develop and invest in distinctions-based community infrastructure plans. Together, we'll address critical infrastructure needs in First Nations, Inuit, and Métis communities over the next 10 years. This will mean more housing, better roads, high-speed internet, and new treatment centers and schools, because that's what it means to choose forward for everyone. Mes chers amis, nous sommes les seuls à avoir un vrai plan pour la classe moyenne et pour ceux qui travaillent fort pour en faire partie. Et regardez où cette approche nous a menés. En 4 ans seulement, les Canadiens ont créé plus d'1 million de nouveaux emplois. L'économie canadienne figure parmi les plus performantes du G7 et on a sorti 900 000 Canadiens de la pauvreté, y compris 300 000 enfants. Sous un nouveau gouvernement libéral, le Canada continuera d'avancer. Mes chers amis, au bout du compte, la politique consiste à vous servir. Peu importe vos circonstances, vous méritez d'avoir un vrai plan pour l'avenir. On a accompli beaucoup de choses ensemble au cours des 4 dernières années, mais la réalité, c'est que ce n'est qu'un début. So Thunder Bay, you have an important choice to make. Will we go back to the failed policies of the Harper years, or will we continue to move forward? That's the choice. It's that clear, and it's that important. It's up to all of you. It's up to all of you, the people here in this room. So please, go talk to your neighbors, volunteer, drive people to the polls, make phone calls, donate if you can, and most importantly, go knock doors. On October 21st, help Canadians choose a government that will fight for you and with you, for a stronger middle class and for a better Canada for all Canadians. Let's stand as one voice and let's choose forward!